done another deep dive into work on the tongue, and that's like thrown up some mind-blowing results with students, stuff that I wouldn't have even expected to happen, never mind them, and kind of can't believe I didn't dive into it sooner, really. My name is Gina. I'm based in Sheffield, and I'm a freelance singing teacher, but I'm also a pop vocals lecturer at Leeds Conservatoire. It's not intimidating because you yourself and many other people involved in Evolve are also constantly learning and collaborating and sharing. And there doesn't feel like a hierarchy in terms of like bestness. There's just a very open platform for people feeling comfortable to say, I need help with this. And then someone saying, oh, this is really interesting. Have you tried this? And then being able to share those anecdotal things that help each other, and having had previous training in like very famous methods. And then because that didn't always click for me personally, I didn't know how to translate it to students in a way that made sense. So I think that having a lot of technical knowledge broken down into such a digestible way made me better at my job. And ultimately that's all I want to do, is just be really good at my job. I am much better at problem solving, and I'm quicker at it, and I'm more able to see patterns in people, and then it just makes it more efficient. You just end up leaving a really good impression on the client, and it makes me feel more empowered as well. The approaches that I use the most often, that have had the most impact, are speech resonance. Me getting more into that has really helped my own voice and my own singing, but I would say it's one of the most universal things. Even if I'm stuck with a singer and I'm like, actually, you're really good. I don't really have much to work with you, but you could probably benefit from this, because I just think everybody could, for various reasons. So speech resonance is something that I tend to do with loads of students, and so there's always a positive to take away from it with everybody. Very recently, I've done another deep dive into work on the tongue, and that's like thrown up some mind-blowing results with students, stuff that I wouldn't have even expected to happen, never mind them. That's been really, really useful, and kind of can't believe I didn't kind of dive into it sooner, really. I had a student at college who's doing his final year in pop voice. He had had a couple of teacher experiences in the past that just left him feeling really low and not very confident in his singing and his ability. By the end of the academic year, he was just a different singer. It was a really real combination of things that had lifted from the course. He had found so much more confidence in his ability, and he scored, I think it was the highest of his year in his performance, in his recital, and he left me wonderful feedback for my line manager to read, which is great. But we just had a really good connection. I think he missed one lesson all year. And, he would be so vocal about how much he was enjoying the lessons. I always think of him as quite a great kind of long-term success. There are many aspects of Evolve that I think other teachers could benefit from. And I think one of the main things is getting out of that rigidity of a method or a school or their own personal training, looking at the science and the data. And I love that you can create your own data from your own experience, and you can, create a wealth of your own evidence with your own students in order to draw on. But also that more holistic side of things, when it's about the individual. And then it's also okay for you to not know. I think that that's something that a lot of teachers are quite scared to admit to their students, but definitely to their peers, the value that you get from having the opportunity to listen to what other people are dealing with and to bring your own stuff, and having you on hand, but then having other people who are going to be the right sort of people, because you're all here, being able to contribute is really invaluable. And I think that, yes, there are Facebook groups and forums, but there's often so much discourse, and there is that lack of trust as well, in a way. Whereas within that Evolve program, you kind of know that those people are probably on a similar wavelength to you, and it's really valuable. I think there are times when I feel like I really doubt myself as a voice teacher, and then I come to either a group call or I have a session with somebody and I use the stuff that I've learned through the program in a lesson, and hearing and seeing the change in a student, either whether it's instant or across time, or hearing something in a group call that I thought, I know the answer to this, or like this is what I would do. And then hearing you then say what I'm already thinking, I'm like, no, I'm good at this. I'm really good at this. And I'm a better teacher for investing financially and with my time into something long term. Like, I'm a much better teacher for it, and I need to stop doubting that.